Welcome, everyone, to this week's episode of Unrooted Women's Soccer Edition, the first one here in 2018. And I'm joined on the first episode by the brand new head coach of Menlo College Women's Soccer. It's Zlatan Sahmanovic. Zlatan, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Let's start by getting to know you a little bit better now. You played 3 seasons following your collegiate days at Humboldt State with the Sonoma Soul of the National Premier Soccer League. What was the difference in competition like going from Humboldt over to Sonoma?
Well, I would say it was extremely competitive throughout because post-college at that level, you had guys who were really seeking that opportunity to go play pro, whether it was to stay in the States or look overseas. So every practice was super intense. We had about 35 guys at every practice as well. And there was just a different level of intensity to everything that we did. Everything mattered, from the warm-up, everything we were evaluated from that, all the way to our even cool-down. The coaches cared about everything, and there was a different level of professionalism.
Now, be honest, were you one of those people looking to go pro?
I was. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for me. To be honest, I don't think I was there yet, technically and tactically. I don't think I was at that next level. But I also had a head injury, which kind of prevented me from continuing to play.
Okay, well, I guess it worked out in a way because now you're here at Menlo College, the
Yes.
new head coach of the program.
Yes.
And much like Robin Hart, last year's head coach, you have a background in criminal justice as you received your minor in it at Humboldt State. And you also have your degree in political science, similar to Keith Lambert on the men's side. So do you and Keith ever talk poli-sci in any way?
Not so much lately. Fun fact about us, we actually had several classes together.
Really?
Yeah, at Humboldt, which was fun. Keith was 2 years ahead of me, so he was a good mentor throughout that time. We actually shared the same advisor. Nowadays, not so much. Most of the conversations are about Lakers versus Warriors, which we all know how that ends, at least in the recent years. And then just soccer tactics, back and forth about formation, systems, matchups, all that good stuff.
So if Keith is 2 years older than you and you had the same classes, what does that say about Keith? Or what does that say about you, I guess?
I think we were on the same path. Remember, you get to pick your classes, so we were just somehow meeting in the middle. He was towards his end, I was early on.
He just took a different course. It wasn't, Keith, I'm not going to throw you under the bus too much. You're not less smart than Z here, but that was what I was getting at with the question. So I think you answered it very professionally. Well done. Good job for that. Let's talk a little bit about the team now. This season is officially underway for the Oaks. They got a big overtime win, 3-2 against UC Merced last Saturday. So congrats on your first win as an Oak. What's it like to have that first win under your belt?
It feels great, but I'm already thinking about how to get win number 2. And then, after that, 3 and so on, and 4 and so on. But I'm very happy, proud of the way the team handled themselves as far as being persistent and continuing to fight hard and keep searching for that next goal. And at the end of the day, that next goal was an overtime goal by a beautiful pass from Alyssa to an amazing finish by Jasmine.
Yeah. Now, you're taking over a team of players that you're relatively unfamiliar with, being a first-year head coach. How important are the exhibitions and the scrimmages pre-season in leading up to that first game?
Extremely important, because it gives me an opportunity to move some pieces around, see how they respond to tough competition, because both scrimmages were a really good test for us. Both Chico and Notre Dame came in to win those games. And like I said, it was just a really good test just to see how they would respond to me as well. And then both games provided different scenarios that we're going to face throughout the year, being down, being up, being tied, being tired. So give me an understanding of how I will manage the group, and obviously seeing what they're good at and seeing what we need to work on the field.
Now, you didn't coach her at any point here at Menlo College, but a lot of attention will be paid this year to Kaylin Swart not being in net for the Oaks following her 3 years as the goalie. But she's on staff currently right now. She's helping out Paula Lotta Ruiz in the meantime. How big has she been in helping develop Paula and getting her to the next step?
Kaylin has been great. Kaylin has been fantastic when it comes to just helping out Paula, helping out the staff, and just being a good mentor to the rest of the team. I think everyone respects her very highly here on campus, and then especially on the field. As far as Paula, Kaylin brings a level of professionalism and maturity in everything that she does, and she has a great personality to back it up. So with Paula, what I've seen is Paula stepping up even from our first exhibition to the most recent game, as far as how she manages the game. And I've really seen her leadership come through, especially in that overtime win. So Kaylin's not only helping with the technique on how to properly make a save and footwork and all that other stuff that comes with the technical component, but it's the mentality.
Yeah.
The mentality, the leadership, and truly what it takes to get to the next level and win the game.
Yeah. On the offensive side, aside from Amanda Nabazic, who's like 5'10", she's the tallest Oak on the offensive side. A lot of the forwards are a little bit smaller, a little bit shiftier and quicker with their steps. Does that change how you draw up set pieces in your offensive game plan?
It does. It does. As far as set pieces, corner kicks, free kicks, we're trying to free up Amanda as much as we can. But as far as throughout the rest of the game, we're going to be playing more to feet. And then when we do have an opportunity, when we enter the final third, the difference between forwards will be either a ball to their feet for them to have some sort of action, or a ball into space with some of those smaller, shiftier players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Z, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 off-the-wall questions, and you give me your best answers.
Okay.
Question number 1, which athlete is most likely to take the Three Rivers Tour back home in Bosnia and Herzegovina?
Three Rivers Tour, I would have to say Amber Hicks.
Okay.
I feel like she likes to have a good time, and she would enjoy the scenery, and then there's also some tough rapids on that. And
yeah.
I think she would enjoy it, yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you also, like me, didn't know what that was before I wrote these questions, right?
Correct.
Yeah, good old Wikipedia coming through and helping me give some culture onto this show.
I asked Siri, yeah.
Oh, you asked Siri? Okay, Siri and Wikipedia helping us find out exactly what the Three Rivers Tour is. If you're ever in Bosnia and Herzegovina, do it, I guess.
Yeah. And there's a Three Rivers Tour in Pittsburgh as well.
That's right. It's a little bit different, but it is up there, I guess, in a way. Of course, we're just it's a little bit more commonplace for us here in the United States. Question number 2: which athlete could beat Keith Lambert on a political science quiz?
Beat him soccer-wise too? Should I add that in there too?
If you want to add that in there.
Political science quiz. Definitely have to say Sydney Richardson and Caitlin Sorensen, vice president, president. I think they can take Keith. I'd even have to say that they can probably take him on the field too.
Maybe currently Keith's been removed a little bit from it, so I could see that. But I like the duo there going vice president, president. Not only could they probably beat him at a quiz, but a debate too.
Oof. Yeah, that wouldn't be a challenge.
Yeah, that's a deadly combination right there. Yeah. Keith's going to have to step his game up for sure. And then question number 3, which athlete would make the best newspaper deliverer?
Ooh, I'd have to say Paula.
Really?
Yeah, she distributes well. She's got a good throw. I feel like she'd do a really good job. Are we talking bike?
I was going to ask, is she going bike or is she going car? That's an important question.
Ooh, I don't know. If it's bike, I would say Paula again. If it's car, I would say Paula again. She has a little window to throw through. Yeah.
Maybe go through the sunroof, perhaps?
Yeah, all right.
It's not raining?
Yeah, depending. Maybe top down. Maybe it's easier like that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Z, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you. It was great.
You're welcome. Folks, the women's soccer team is on the road here for the next couple of weeks, but specifically this week they have a contest up in Redding, California. That's on Friday against Simpson University. Kickoff for that game set for 3 o'clock local time. We invite you to tune into next week's episode when Zlatan Sahmanovic will pick the first interviewee, the first student to be interviewed by me, Brian Brownfield, right here on Unrooted Women's Soccer Edition. Until then, we'll see you next week. Take care, everyone.
Bye.